Today guys, I thought I'd have a bit of a sit down chat and have a stab at the new to booktube tag. It's called a booktube newbie tag. I read out finding what it's called on it and just go through to see. So I've been watching booktube videos for a couple of years now and I love them. I get some really fantastic recommendations from it, and I thought it seems like a brilliant way to document my reading journey and just be able to keep track of everything and see how I'm doing, and in some ways keep me to account on TBRs, which is somewhat of a, it's not my strength. I do want to read the books and I do read by eventually, but I feel like having something told me to account to when I'm recording actually really will help me stick to a TBR for once. And I love this community and I'd love to be part of it and share the fantastic books I'm reading with you guys and just see how it goes. So, reading and books are my first lifelong loves. Storytelling, core for who I am, core for what I love through either movies or TV or books, which just are fantastic. And I want to share my passion for these just magical worlds that you can plunge into with just such captivating characters and share like my creative takes on things. And I read an interesting mix of books. I feel like combining those together would be nice, and I feel that there's space in booktube for everyone, so I think I'd like to add my voice to the table, really. Oh, that's everything. I just love talking about books and I'd love to find people to connect with, to talk to. We're talking about brilliant stories and just, oh, where to get some great recommendations and just get some ideas of of videos I want to create and just have some fun with it. I'm looking forward to the journey. Reading a book is such an incredible experience. When you think about it, it's insane just staring at these words and pages and being able to conjure these incredible worlds and these internal landscapes of people whose lives you may not have known anything about, and see so many different perspectives and see and understand so much about where people are coming from and their different cultures and different situations I never would experience my own life, and be able to see these worlds and these stories, and then you get to fall in love with these fantastic characters. You have found these communities where you get to just share a love of these stories and be able to learn so much from what they're telling you or from how you react to certain stories, and what that says about what you like and dislike and your view on things as a person can inform that, and to help you understand how people's perception of events and how people's pasts and what they've experienced and opportunities they've had shape how they view the world, so you can learn. And it's just that sense of empathy and that way that it gives your imagination so much fuel for different worlds and stories, and just seeing things at just a slightly different angle, which is just magical, and I love. I've been reading since I was really young, so I think it's probably Enid Blyton's, specifically like Famous Five, Secret Seven, some Married House as well. I devoured those books. My mum had all copies, and I was just like staying up reading far beyond when I should have been. Hmm. Probably recommendations and about their favourite, and some questions, depends on YouTube booktube, about their favourite books. I'd love to have a discussion with some like proper depth one about some of their favourite books, because that would be awesome. And I guess it would be tips on just how to do this. I think the hardest challenge will be quieting that voice in my head that overthinks every single aspect of everything, of thumbnail, of a video idea, of editing, of what I'm saying at my camera. Just that little voice that's overthinking everything, which can just stop you from doing basically anything and just sort of paralyze you. So I think the challenge of overcoming that repeatedly for all the decisions I make, and like choosing titles and everything, going trust my gut, and then but not completely ignoring it, because you need to think things through a bit at least, but like being spontaneous as well with what I'm creating. I mean, I always enjoyed reading when I first started being taught, but initially there was a little bit pushback. Where I liked being, when I was younger, really young, I liked being read to. So part of me was like, well, I'm not 100% sure I want to start learning to read if I can just have my loved ones read to me and share stories in that way, because I just love sharing stories with people. But when I think it took a couple months when my mum started handing me off famous Secret 7 books, I think, to little mysteries to get me into started reading. So that was when I was pretty young, starting to read stuff like that. That's when I started, and I sort of been reading ever since. I think the real question is, where don't I read? Whether I can feasibly bring a book or my phone to read ebooks on, where it won't damage the book or my phone, and we know it's safe to read. So as an overarching theme, I'm always searching for characters that feel like real people, and that just with an interesting voice that you can completely believe and fall into hearing their story from their viewpoint and feel very much like, yeah, of course they do that. That's this character. Of course that would happen. Where basically the character drives the plot, and that there's a plot that's engaging. As much as I love no plot, just vibes, I don't tend to reread those books or keep coming back to them. So I would say I don't gravitate towards them as much as books which have a plot in some regard. As far as genres, I do love fantasy and sci-fi and murder mystery and, well, history and, well, historical fiction. I do enjoy contemporary and lit fics, but don't quite gravitate towards them in the same way as I do those other genres. But I'll read anything as long as it's an interesting story with an engaging character who feels like a real person, because that's what I aspire to read, and just a book that just transports you somewhere else. The escapism is amazing, and just something you could really fall in love with. Thank you for listening to me yap on. Let me know if you like these sort of books. Hope you carry on with me to see how this all turns out. I'm looking forward to the ride.